don't know a single business owner who isn't excited about free things, so I thought I'd list off some of the free things that I use in my business to make it better. Some of these things are small, some of them are big, some of them I've just recently started using, some of them I've been using for a very long time, but I've narrowed it down to 4 free things that I think genuinely make a difference in how I run and manage my business. I know that there's an element of you get what you pay for, so there are definitely things that I have spent a lot of money on that I'm glad that I spent that money because it was worth it. And in fact, I'm actually going to do a little bit of a teaser at the end of this video for my next video, which will be about something that is very much not free that I've done that I know you guys are going to want to know the behind the scenes on. So stay tuned for that at the end. But this video is all about free stuff that is absolutely worth it. It's stuff that I can't believe is free that I really enjoy. My first free resource is one that's very new to me. I heard about this free resource at a women's entrepreneurship conference. One of the members of the audience in a session talked about this, and then when I brought it up to a friend of mine who owns her own brick and mortar store, she raved about this resource and said she can't believe it's free and she can't believe that more people don't use it. And now that I've worked with them, I feel the same way. In Wisconsin, this is called our Small Business Development Center. I know I'm talking specifically about Wisconsin, and that might be hard to apply elsewhere. Essentially, it's like free business advising. You fill out a form to initially reach out to them, and they have a few members in their office. At least, again, this is how Wisconsin specifically works. I'm guessing these things apply to other places. What they told me is that the reason that they're able to remain free is because they receive payment from me through data like any loans that I secure for my business, I report that to them. Any jobs that I create through my business, I report that to them. I think even if I invest my own money into the business, I share that with them because they use that information to apply for more grants by saying our work infuses this amount of money into the local community. I just started working with them, but I've talked to multiple business owners who've worked with them extensively, and the number of things they can help you with is so amazing. Everything from helping you create a business plan initially to applying for loans, advice on inventory, financial management. Even if they can't do it themselves, they will point you in the direction of a resource that can help. In fact, they can even help you validate a business idea. So if you haven't launched your business yet and you're trying to figure out, is this even worth doing? They can run through the financial projections with you to help you decide if this is worth starting or not, which I think is phenomenal. It's so hard for business owners to know all the aspects of running a business before they get started. And I think that's what I love so much about this is being able to have something free so that you're not even investing your money yet. You're just working with people who are passionate about helping you with no other real incentive other than helping your business succeed. Number 2 is something I've been using from the beginning of my business, but I still hear people ask this question, and so I want to reiterate this. And that is the free online accounting software that I use, which is Wait. As is the case with like many of these things, I cannot believe this is free. I think it's probably free because they're using my data. I think that's usually the case, that when something's free and you're not sure why it's free, it's because they're using your data. Whatever. But probably the paid versions are using my data too, so whatever. I have so many business owner friends who use QuickBooks and hate it. I have never heard someone talk glowingly about QuickBooks. I know it has a lot of functionality, and I'm sure for bigger businesses, that's super important. But every small business owner I know who's like a really small operation that has QuickBooks is completely overwhelmed by the user experience and hates it. I don't feel that way about Wave at all. There's stuff that I would maybe change, but again, it's free, so I don't really have any complaints. I link all my business accounts to this. It's how I categorize all of my transactions. When I need to send a P&L to my finance person. Wave will kick out those reports for me. Again, all of this for free. I think I sent reports from Wave directly to the SBDC when they were asking me about financial stuff. And it is so nice to just like have a website that does that for me. I can't sing the praises enough. I don't know if I get a referral link. Like, I'm saying this right now and I haven't looked into this yet. If I do get some sort of referral link, I'll put it in the comments, but I want you to know that I'm telling you about this regardless of whether I currently know if I can make any affiliate money off of it. I love it so much. Okay, brief intermission for a silly free thing that I slightly realized I guess isn't technically free because I do pay for Spotify Premium. I use Spotify in my personal life, so I don't consider it a business expense. And that's why I'm counting this as free. If you don't want to pay for Spotify, there's probably a free way to do this. So if you're mad at me because I said this was free and technically it's not, I understand that. I respect that anger. But I want you to know that like I came about this genuinely. But I used Spotify very recently. This is so corny, but it's working, which is why I feel like I have to share it. I really struggle with staying focused when I am at my studio making products or doing really repetitive tasks that I feel a ton of resistance towards doing that have to get done. Sometimes I show up to the studio and I have to like make shower steamers or print labels or clean or just stuff that I don't like doing. And I sometimes like sit on the couch there and just stare into space or like scroll on social media and avoid doing it because I cannot get up the excitement to do boring stuff. And eventually I was just like, I have to figure out a workaround for this. This is killing me and it's not doing great things for my business. I have to figure out a trick. And so my honest to God trick is a playlist of like embarrassingly cheesy songs about like the call to adventure is what I call it. I have kids, I have young kids. We watch a lot of like Disney movies or just like, you know, kids movies. And there's always a song that's about them being called to like do something brave or do something difficult or struggle through circumstances that they don't feel like they have much control over. And they're like big, epic songs with a lot of emotion in them. So I made a playlist of them. I think I have like 10 or 15 songs on there. It's magical. I put that on, I like disassociate into a world where I am the main character. It's very much like that kind of vibe. And it really helps me get through boring stuff. In the past, I've watched TV shows, I watched movies, I've tried a lot of things to entertain myself. But sometimes when I really have to move around a lot, playing a movie or a TV show doesn't work because I don't want to miss anything. It ends up distracting me more than focusing me. And music is such a better trick, but I've struggled to find like the right music. And I'm embarrassed to say, this is it. This is the right music. So I don't know, if you guys are really desperate to know the songs that are on there, I guess I could share them. But I actually think this is kind of a personal thing. They don't have to be like children's movie songs. Do what works for you, but finding a playlist that no matter how many times you listen to it allows you to honestly completely change your mindset is invaluable. It seems small, but I really think it's making a huge difference. All right, and we've come to my last free thing that I think is making a huge difference that once again, I can't believe it's free. This is a person, it's a creator that I have recently started following after coming across one of her videos on TikTok. And she has paid content as well. She has courses and she has a subscription community. But honestly, I don't belong to either of those. I've never spent any money through her, and I still feel like I get an insane amount of value from what she does. Her name is Julia Broom. I follow her on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I just consider her such a savant when it comes to social media. I feel like she breaks things down in a way that feels so attainable. It's what I've been looking for from someone to explain what I should be doing on social media. Her background is as a social media manager. So she started off behind the scenes managing social media strategy for brands, celebrities, influencers, and now she's in front of the camera building her own business. And I will say that I do feel like a lot of her content is primarily geared towards people who are trying to be influencers or social media managers. So there's some stuff that she'll talk about that I find hard to translate for myself as a brand, and like, how do I apply this to my products? But even aside from that, there's still so much value in what she shares. I am sometimes overwhelmed by how much value she shares, and I sometimes find myself struggling to like figure out what to pick and choose to implement. Two things I really love from her that I'm using actively is, one, she talks extensively about a signature series. She's not the only person talking about this. She's probably not the only person talking about any of the stuff she talks about, but I really like the way she packages it. She talks about a signature series, which is a repeatable themed piece of content, usually like short form video, that you can consistently put out so that people know to come to you for this thing. It makes you identifiable. It makes people come back. It makes them want to subscribe so that they'll see more of that. And she gives advice on how to create a signature series, what makes a good signature series, how often to do it. She gets into a lot of specifics. She replies to a lot of comments. She's really good at that sort of stuff. So signature series, I'm working on what to do for mine. All of this stuff is tough because it still feels vulnerable to try something new in front of a bunch of people, but I do really trust her expertise. And so when she feels really strongly about something, I do consider it worth my time. The other thing she shared, which I loved, was, I'll see if I can find the exact post. It was a while ago, so I don't know if I'll be able to find it, but if I can, I will link it below. I'll link her account in general anyway. But she laid out like a calendar, a weekly calendar with specific types of content you should be doing for each day of the week. So Monday should be this type of reel on Instagram, 3 to 5 stories, this type of TikTok. It's like she's very specific about it. So sometimes it's a 7 to 15 second reel on Instagram. Sometimes it's 1 minute talking to the camera. Sometimes it's a shareable carousel. And it's just like a weekly formula. And having that structure has been so helpful to me because I need more guidance on how to plan out content. There's so many directions to go, and having her be like, no, just focus on these specific things. I like the way that she talks about content pillars. I feel like she's discussing it in a way that's a little bit different from other things that I've seen. And she always gives so many examples, which I find really helpful. I get frustrated when people offer up a concept and then don't give specific examples of what they mean. It feels to me like kind of a waste of advice. I cannot believe all the stuff I've learned for free from her. I think down the road, I do plan to purchase things from her or join her community, especially if I ever have a marketing person. I'd love to have them look at her stuff and implement it for me. That's a dream. Okay, that's it for 4 of my favorite free resources that really help me up-level my business. I hope this was helpful. Before I leave, I do want to give you a little bit of a teaser about a paid upgrade that I'm so excited to talk about and go behind the scenes on. I have wanted someone to talk about an in-depth experience with getting custom packaging for their products, and I could not find a good video on it, so I'm hoping I can make it myself. This past year, I went from standard issue packaging that I added labels to, like printed labels that I print on my little HP printer in my studio, to custom printed tubes for my shower steamers. I've also gotten custom tubes for my reed diffusers as well, but I'm in the process of launching those. I've fully rolled out the shower steamer tubes, so I now officially have like a start to launch experience for you. It's been months and months of designing and financing and tariffs and drama. And it's a fun story, and I'm excited to share more about it. But I will be going in depth on that in my next video. If you have any questions that you want me to answer about getting this custom packaging, please comment below so I can include them. I haven't filmed it yet, but I do plan to film it soon. So let me know what you want me to talk about in regards to that. and come back next week so that you can see the whole video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.